let's get really calm. And so just relax your body. It's so easy to understand that this life force, our nervous system, this life force is tied up in all these other processes that the body is experiencing. All of this EMF, and it's not just EMF, all of our anxiety and depression and stress and all these states of being that have become so normalized. When our body isn't resisting that, when it's not fighting that, then that energy becomes freed up. It's no longer in a state of fight or flight. And when it becomes available to us, because we're so calm in our body, we're so relaxed, we're breathing slower, deeper, more rhythmic. And we put that little inner smile on our face that is literally us choosing what kinds of frequencies and signals are going to affect our body chemistry. Because it really is that simple. Your body's totally relaxed. Your breathing is slowed down. And at the same time, your awareness is bright. So it's almost like the yin of the body being so relaxed, while at the same time, the yang, the illuminated sense of frequency that works in perfect union with the opposites of energy, the yin and the yang, the male and the female, the masculine, the feminine. All that are just polarities from different frequency expressions of this life force. And the more that gets balanced out, because we're choosing to be relaxed, choosing to have our awareness bright, and we're choosing to send the most powerful signal that we could ever choose, which is that inner smile and the realization that we can immediately feel grateful or happy or uplifted, and to know that all it really is a habit. And so if we have sickness or whatever kind of internal physical pain or ailments, or our emotional state is just all over the place, when we get into these simple and sustained states of heart and brain, whole body, whole soul, which is the life force, coherence. So again, our heart and our brain get into coherence because we are choosing to feel that feeling of the smile, and we feel it in our heart. Because the smile is on our face, but the feeling of it can be everywhere in our body. And the bulk of that feeling that we feel when we put that smile on is coming out of our heart. And the more we open up and feel that feeling of self-love, of acknowledging that even though life can be a struggle, even though it can be so challenging, and that sometimes we suffer so much, despite all of that, we can change our body frequency and keep meeting that pain with that calm state of being and that bright, illuminated awareness and the feeling of that inner smile, literally emanating from within and around our heart. And just like radio waves or any music waves, the same thing is happening in and around these bodies. And so when we get good at sustaining these really simple states of being that are likened to being childlike, but without having been traumatized, when we have awe and wonder, and we become curious about life, and we start to take that curiosity and we turn it inwards, and we begin to realize that the greatest and most awe-inspiring realities or discoveries there could ever be aren't outside of us. They're not somewhere on the other side of the world or the other side of the galaxy. Yeah, of course, it's there. Of course, the whole thing is filled with awe and wonder. But the root of that awe and wonder is us. It is animating every thought we think, every feeling that we feel, and just like those vibratory sound waves, when we interact with this process and we keep bringing our attention back into this awe and mystery of this life force and our relationship to it and its relationship to every system of our body, the more we seek with curiosity, with the eyes and the open heart of a child, passionate about being alive, when we introduce these elements into what is already happening in us, around us, the more this power, the more this awe and mystery of reality that we all are, and that everything is, the more we bring our attention to it, the more it meets us full on. The more we pay attention to what it is that we really are, this life force, the more it acknowledges that you are acknowledging it, and the more playful, the more loving, the more exciting all of this becomes. And the more you create time in your day, in the moments of your breathing, to simply just acknowledge that through the simple inner smile that you choose to put on your face, with that relaxed state of being in your body, with your breathing just slow and calm, all of this begins to naturally open up these dormant perceptual centers that are in every single one of us. If we have a heart in our chest, a brain in our head, and we have most of our body intact, we can become conscious of how this energy already interacts with all that we are in these bodies. And the more we become aware of how it's interacting with us, the more we are invited to be a co-participant of how this energy relates to all that we are. And when we realize that we have an effect on our own health, then these internal states of being, the glands, the pituitary center in the middle of the head, the pineal gland behind it, thalamus gland, these centers of our body are already filled up with neural networks. And when we get in tune and we feel the feeling of that uplifted state of being that we choose to create by choice alone, when we focus on these areas and we feel our pulse in these areas of our body with the feeling of our smile, our uplifted body chemistry, we can feel this anywhere in our body that we choose to focus. And the more you feel your pulse in the back part of your brain, for example, with that feeling of the smile, you are taking your attention and you are putting it and focusing it into these divine bodies that, again, are only alive because of this miraculous life force that we are. And when we focus in these parts of our body, feeling that smile, being relaxed, and then feeling our heart beat with all these other elements of feeling uplifted, that feeling through our pulse, focused on these specific areas, begin to clear up blockages. It begins to literally activate whatever part of your body that you're focused on. And again, you are the co-creator. You are choosing to interact with what you really are. You don't care about who you think you are or what others think about you. None of that matters, because you are creating the most important relationship that any of us could ever have, but that so few pursue, just simply because they don't know. But we know, and we're choosing to know. And that choice to meet our life force where it is already at, and our willingness to interweave our conscious awareness of its presence already in us, allows that conscious awareness to become infused with this awe and mystery of this miracle that we are. And the more you dwell with that, the more you begin to learn what the true meaning of love is. It is this creative impulse that is the most powerful feeling we could ever imagine times infinity, and even that doesn't explain what this love, this creative force of wild bioelectricity is. And when you have made it clear to this part of yourself that you are committed to this relationship, you're not only choosing to marry it, you are voluntarily choosing to take the limited sense of self that almost everybody has accepted as normal, and you are intentionally infusing that awareness into every part of your body, from the top of your head to the tip of your feet. And when you know yourself in this way, you begin to become aware of all these dimensions that everybody speculates and talks about, all of these new areas to understand knowledge and wisdom that was always there, but that so few focus on. Yes, we increase our awareness of how mysterious this miracle of life is. But it's normal. It's just a natural part of life itself. It's not some elite club for only certain people who've lived in caves and prayed and meditated in monasteries. This is here and available to everybody that wants to create a relationship with it. And this, again, is a relationship that will love you back 1,000-fold. And that's just when you're really getting to know yourself as you are. And how could you not love yourself when you're sustaining these states of being? How could you not feel empathy, not only for all the suffering in the world, but even for those who are creating suffering because they are stuck. They are in old karmic cycles that they don't even understand. And if we're not choosing to amplify our awareness of what we really are, this miracle, then by default, we are still focusing on it. And it is still being amplified, whether we're choosing to nurture this relationship like we would any other relationship that we're passionate about. If we're not nurturing that, then by default, we are still amplifying whatever it is we're focused on. And this is why so many people feel so stuck in all of their own problems and the problems of the world. There's enough of us here now that know, at least enough to know why we're here and how we are finding each other, and how all of these old patriarchal top-down systems, that's the old. That's on its way out. And even if we don't see that in the world around us, be certain that you can see it by being it within you. So continue to stay totally relaxed. Every part of your body is so calm that your body could almost go to sleep. But through that little inner smile and your choice to keep your awareness bright while your body's almost going to sleep, this is how we access what it is that's going to change this world. And when enough of us do this individually, then naturally we're doing it together all over the world. And at some point, those morphogenetic fields, or the 100th monkey effect, is going to happen. And there are so many who feel like it actually already has happened. They believe that enough of us have already glimpsed our true nature beyond and within the appearance of separation that we all have unconsciously indulged in. And if enough of us have already seen that and know ourselves as such, then that's a pretty good understanding of why things seem so chaotic. We have created a ripple in the fabric of what appears to be time. And in that ripple, enough of us have been able to sustain our awareness of it. And now the world around us is beginning to catch up to what enough of us have seen, but there's no reason to not keep focusing on it. This is a reprioritization of what we value. This is choosing to take the value from what we normally place our attention on external to us. And choose to love that we already are. And when we value our relationship to our life more than all of the stress that society coaxes with a carrot dangling over our nose to literally sell our souls by focusing on what the world tells us is necessary to survive. You don't have to do that anymore. It's not even necessary to stress out and try to survive in a system that is totally disharmonic to the web of life itself. So before we come out of this, if you had any insight, or better yet, if you had any feeling that was either new to you tonight or that you became aware of, if any epiphany or aha moment, no matter how great or small, found you in this time we spent together, memorize it. Let it know that you became aware of it. And again, that like any relationship you are passionate about, you're in it to keep knowing it, to knowing what you are beyond the perceived illusion of disconnection. the appearance of separation is just that. It is an appearance. We all are this life force, and the more we focus on it individually and together, the more we amplify it in us. And again, like tuning forks placed all over the world, that vibrational frequency of reality in a highly organized state of being allows us as individuals to resonate at vibrational frequencies so much more ordered and powerful than all of these stressful things that so many are addicted to focusing on, even though it doesn't serve them. So feel that part of yourself that you know is there. Choose to become closer to what you know is possible. Even if you can't see it, or hear it, or feel it, you know it's there. Just like a string on a guitar. Everything makes vibratory waves with the right kind of interaction with it. And even though we don't see it, just like magnetic fields, it doesn't matter. Because we are reconditioning ourselves to become aware of what was always there, but that we just didn't slow down enough, with enough curiosity and passion to be able to perceive it. But now we are. And I just want to send love to my family and to everybody here. Feel love for those that are in your heart and send them love. Even if they're toxic or abusive, you don't have to love them in the way that they want you to. You're choosing to take the high road. And you are loving them at exactly whatever level they are at. And that is enough. So when you're ready, take your hands together, create friction and heat. Get them nice and hot. And then put the palms of your hands over your eyes. And just relax into that. And please like, love, share. Help us get this out there. We are mission driven. I'm sure everybody knows that. And thank you. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, everybody here.